In just one weekend, this fireplace has gone from dowdy and dated to sleek, modern, and elegant, just by refacing it with tile. It's a much simpler project than you'd think, and costs less than $300 to do. This fireplace is a mishmash of too many dated elements. It's bulky, and it makes the room feel cluttered and old. By replacing it with tile from floor to ceiling, we can give it a clean, sophisticated look that makes the whole space feel larger. To get started, the old wooden mantle has to go. Because this was obviously a later addition to the house, it's just attached on top of the marble, so it can easily be loosened from the wall with a simple pry bar. Then the marble can be gently pried off the same way. Just be careful not to dent up the drywall during removal. When it's down to the bare fireplace, clean the wall of any dust and debris using a damp cloth. Now you want to decide how far out you want the tile on each side. Make sure it's at least as wide as the old mantle so the tile covers up any marks left on the wall, and it meets up with any existing chair rail and baseboards. Just make sure it's symmetrical all the way up the wall. You can use a level to draw your edges so you know it'll be perfectly straight. Next, measure the area to be tiled to create a template using craft paper or cardboard so you can lay out the tile pattern on the floor. This allows you to play with different designs and make changes before you install anything permanently. To keep this project simple, use a tile pattern that fits in the space without being cut, simply by stacking the tile in straight rows. When the design looks perfect on the template, it's ready to go up on the wall. Now it's time to start tiling. Using an adhesive tile mat instead of mortar will save time and there's no mess. Begin by cutting the adhesive mat to size. Make sure to get the right mat for your project. This one can hold tiles up to 7 pounds each, so it's more than strong enough for this design. Peel off the white film and, starting on the bottom corner, stick the mat to the wall. Make sure it's straight and inside the area to be tiled. Then smooth out any air bubbles with a rubber float. Repeat this process all the way up the wall, overlapping each sheet by about 1/8 of an inch. And just like that, it's ready to tile. Once again, starting at the bottom corner, peel away the film on the first section of tile mat to reveal the adhesive. Sticking carefully to the pattern on the template, begin firmly pressing the tiles into place one at a time. Use spacers to create even lines between them for grout. For the tile directly above the hearth opening, use a scrap board to create a temporary shelf. Because the adhesive mat requires no drying time, the tile is ready to grout as soon as it's installed. Mix up some non-sanded grout to the consistency of mayonnaise. You can choose from a lot of different grout colors, so pick something that works well with your tile. Remove all the tile spacers, then begin smearing the grout over the tile with the rubber grout float. Apply the grout by dragging it across the surface of the tile with the long side of the float at a 45-degree angle to the tile so that it gets down into all the joints. Once the joints are filled, wipe off the excess grout with the float almost perpendicular to the tile. Don't worry if there's still some grout smeared on the surface of the tile. After about 25 minutes, or the amount of time on the grout instructions, wipe the tile with a damp sponge. Then, after an hour, wipe it again with a dry, clean cloth. What you're left with is a clean tile finish with smooth grout lines in between. Now it's time to finish the room with a little design. The walls can be painted as well for a really dramatic makeover. The tile is what makes the statement, so by bringing in elements of the same color, it ties the whole room together for a clean, contemporary feel. In just a couple days, this entire wall has been completely reimagined. Now it makes a bold statement, and with a low profile that actually takes up less space in the room.